Hello there, friends. This is Grace, and welcome to Use Your Scraps video number 4. So with this one, we're going to start with this pattern paper, and this is actually a little bit texturized. All those dots that you see on the top, they are some kind of a puffy paint because you can feel it if yeah in person, but I like my pages with border, so I'm going to use this diagonal stripe paper. I'm going to miter the edges of it, or the corners I should say, and then create a frame all around my layout. Now I know that we are ending, or we're kind of in the middle of January here, but this is a Christmas layout and this is actually Christmas 2020, no, 2019. Yes, Christmas 2019, because my son was kinder at that time. So, and it's already 2023. So it just tells you that I will never run out of things to scrapbook because I am never caught up. But it's okay. I that's not a big deal for me, really. I enjoy scrapbooking, and I mean there's times where I feel a little bit pressured to get caught up just because the list is accumulating, but for the most part I like that I'm not caught up because then I will never run out of things to scrapbook. Anyways, I am going to build the background, or sorry, the border of this, but I'm only going to build the bottom and the side and not the top yet, and I'll explain a little later. One of the things that I am using on this particular layout that will help me to use up my stash is to create some homemade embellishments. And again, I used my Silhouette Cameo to create some ornaments. I just found the free SVG files for ornaments, and so I can't really remember. Maybe it's like scrapbooking cards today, or maybe it's paper issues. I don't quite remember, but they're just free cut files, and I used my paper scraps to cut them out. I did use my, I would cut, like, I think it was 4 of them with that red gingham as my base, and then I cut the other ones with different paper. Now, one of them, as you can see, has kind of this ornament that has the top and the bottom the same paper, and then the middle different. I had the zigzag one, I have a Christmas tree one, and then for my title, I cut out this one piece that had the ho ho ho. So that's going to be my title piece. And so I have 4 here. I contemplated on doing 5 because, as you all know, odds are always, they always look good design wise, but I don't have room for 5. I only have room for 4. So that's how it's gonna be. And my photos are a little smaller. I think most of them are 2 by 3, and then one that's 3 by 4. But if you notice that 3 by 4, there's a lot of space in the top. So I'm just gonna trim that down. So it's gonna come out to, I don't know, maybe 2 by 3. And I'm going to move things around because at this point, I really didn't know how my layout's going to look like. I just know I wanted some ornaments type things because it is a Christmas themed layout, but I didn't know how I was going to space everything out. Now, the reason why I didn't put the top border piece there was because I wanted to make it look like these ornaments are strung, and they're hanging from the top. So I need to make sure that I put them where, where they're going to go first. And then I am going to grab some twine and then put some string through the hole of the die cut, and then secure it on the top, on the back side of the top of my layout. I hope that makes sense. I'm moving things around because I don't know how they're going to look like at this point in time. I did notice right off the bat, especially as I'm putting these photos on the paper, that they're not standing out a little bit more than I had wanted. So I will mat all of these photos with just white cardstock just to make it stand out a little bit more. This is when I started to measure the twine that I needed for each ornament, and I'm just kind of eyeballing it and then cutting it because I know that I'm just going to tuck the ends of that with some washi on the back of my paper. And I hope that you guys are enjoying our new series here. Let me know if there's some series that you would like me to tackle this year. I always kind of go by the seat of my pants when it comes to these series, and they're mostly because they are ideas, themes, you know, series that I would like to do or that I need to do at that point in my paper crafting. So I decided to switch out my ornaments. The zigzag will go down on the bottom, and then that other pattern paper one will go on the top. And sorry that my head is in the way. I want to make sure that I align them with the right amount of twine to go on the bottom, or to go not on the bottom but on the top. Okay, so I am going to commit to the ornaments and adhere them in the kind of in the ballpark or in the position that they were. And then I am going to, and the reason why I'm doing this with the photos already there, because you're probably wondering, well, you're not going to adhere to photos anyway, so why did you put in there? Because of the spacing. I just want to make sure that there's enough spacing for all of these items, because it would be really sad if I start gluing them and then I ended up not having enough space. I'm actually overlapping two of the photos on my layout once everything is said and done, just because it's better that way for me to overlap them. It would They would all look better when they're kind of nested together. And this is what I was telling about how I'm not worried about the tops because they're going to end up being fastened to the bottom to the back of my page, which is some washi. And then now that I have that, I am going to tie some ribbons on the bottoms of it to make it look like actual legit ornaments. So I'm going to add a little bit more twine, and I specifically used a thinner twine for this because I didn't want to add way too much bulk on this layout. There's already a lot of texture and dimension on there with, foam adhesive and then the texture of the pattern paper background. I didn't want to add way too much, but I also wanted to add that little detail of the twine. I gotta say though that this very top one is way close to the top, and I should have moved it a little bit further down because my border is 1/2 inch, and I know that it's going to be snug up there, but it's okay. I have one more ornament to do, and then I should be done with the ornament part of it. And as you can see, one way that you can use up as many scraps as you can is to do layers of your embellishments. So as you can see here, I have paper, the back paper of the ornament, but then I also have the top part, which are either the ho ho ho, the Christmas tree, the zigzag, or those panels over there. And then I also used the pattern paper for my border. And then, I mean, if I was smart or if I had a lot of pattern paper that have white background, I can use that too as my white matting paper too if I wanted, but I didn't have any, so that's okay. Now I'm just finishing this off over here with some embellishments. I have this container with all of my embellishments for Christmas. They are from different companies, but I just put them all together because that's how I normally create, is I create with the theme in mind. I'm not particular with specific brands anymore. And so I just have them all together and they work for me. So all of my holiday Christmas embellishments and products are all in one bag. So one thing that I am going to do to finish off this layout is I'm going to add some white Nuvo drops on the edges of some of these ornaments, just to kind of give it a little border dimension and some extra design. So that's how I'm going to finish this layout. Of course, I'm going to set this aside to dry before I do anything with this. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, make sure that you leave it in the comment section below. If you like these videos, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great one. Bye.